Today on the Morning Edition, a family plans a memorial fit for their teenage son who lived for Alaska. Balloons will rise and engines will roar as the community prepares to celebrate a life lived wild and free. Plus,
I don't follow what Elon Musk does, believe it or not.
Elon Musk's role in the federal government could soon be coming to an end as the president announces sweeping new tariffs that could alter the world's economy. And later,
a declaration of...
There's sharks in the lava.
Our million-mile challenge has kicked off, and this morning we introduce you to our first wish kid, Liam Perka. At 6 years old, he's already been through more than most, yet his fighting spirit has never faded as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. It is that time of year where we get to bring you those incredible stories.
Which means it's now time to, donate those miles that you have just sitting in your account.
Yeah, if you have them, go ahead and donate. We're trying to reach that 1 million miles.
And we are waking up this morning to another day with some sunshine to be expected into the afternoon hours. Of course, we're waking up to some cloud coverage across South. Expected to see today more of a transition day. We will hold on to some cloud coverage, calling it mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies throughout the day. And of course, we will see some breezy conditions reintroduced across parts of South Central into the afternoon hours. We're currently sitting at 38 degrees with fairly light winds for the Anchorage Bowl as far as what we're seeing temperature-wise. 30s and 40s across South Central. We've got 35 in Golcana, 36 in Valdez. Notice that cloud coverage we do have to start off the morning for parts of South Central. And of course, we do have some spotty showers that are developing across parts of the region, largely expecting today to remain on the drier side outside of Kodiak Island, which we'll see that rain increasing into the evening hours. So enjoy that sunshine we will see today. This is our storm system we're watching that's still to our south, this Pacific low that is pulling to the north. This is our upcoming weather maker. It's going to bring rain returning to the Gulf Coast region. That's for both South Central as well as Southeast. And of course, starting today and then lasting through the weekend, we'll see heavy snow and winds for the Aleutians, as well as out towards the Kuskokwim Delta coastline, as well as Nunivak Island, where we are seeing a blizzard warning remaining in effect. As far as what we're dealing with when it comes to those winter weather alerts, the Yukon Delta winter weather advisory, blizzard conditions expected for the Kuskokwim Delta coast out towards Nunivak Island, and then as you head through parts of the eastern Aleutians, this is where we have a winter storm warning for the possibility that we could see up to 18 inches of that snow accumulation. Combined with that, winds will increase. We're already seeing winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour out towards the Aleutians. So coming up in my full forecast, we'll talk about that, break down what to expect with those blizzard conditions and rain returning to the Gulf Coast region. I'll have that in that 7-day for you coming up.
In this morning's top story, Rebekah Challans was a 16-year-old who embraced the Alaskan way of life from the very beginning. He lived outdoors and loved every second of it. Now, after he was killed in a deadly avalanche, honoring that spirit with a memorial as unique and vibrant as he was. Here's Olivia Nordyke with a story about a life lived full throttle and a final farewell filled with the sound and smell of two-stroke engines.
Tucker grew up in Alaska. He was born and raised here, right? And I think one of my favorite quotes that I heard somebody say was he had more dust on his PlayStation than he did his rifle. He wasn't an indoor kid by any far stretch.
Rebekah Challans says her son was an Alaskan through and through. At his young age, he worked as a fishing guide for cruise guests. His mother says he was happy to teach anyone he met by the river.
He enjoyed it so much, he wanted other people to enjoy it as much as he did. So he found a way to make that happen for people. It didn't matter where they were from.
Challans said the day her son Tucker died, he took a friend on a snow machining trip. The last photo of Tucker shows him taking in the view in Turnagain Pass and captured what he said to his friend that day.
Such an amazing story about it, taking a friend to the top of the mountain and, sitting on top of this mountain with her and shutting down a snow machine in this beautiful place and saying, gosh, life has so much to offer if you just take in the view and enjoy it.
An avid snow machiner, Challans said the boy loved the snow and any indications of an upcoming winter season.
The kid would go sit on his snow machine in the summertime and just fire it up just so he could smell his two-stroke exhaust, because that meant winter was eventually coming.
Even the smell of the two-stroke exhaust of the snow machine. Now, at the memorial for her son at Soldotna High School, Challans is planning a two-stroke send-off.
All of Tucker's friends that have snow machines, we're going to have them fire their snow machines up and we're going to set balloons free and, just kind of give that two-stroke hoorah to Tucker somewhere up there in the clouds and let him smell that two-stroke gas or two-stroke exhaust like he loved so much.
Olivia Nordyke, Alaska's news source.
Challans says she hopes her son's memory will live on through avalanche education by teaching her younger daughter about backcountry safety and encouraging other young Alaskans to get trained. She wants to turn tragedy into prevention. Covering education, 185 positions at the Anchorage School District are being displaced ahead of next school year, a move the district blames on insufficient state funding. Among those affected, West High English and drama teacher Brian Like, who spent the last 3 years building up the school's theater program. Like says his students are slated to perform at the Alaska Center for the Performing Arts later this month. But beyond that, the future is uncertain. District leaders say there's still no sign from lawmakers or Governor Mike Dunleavy on whether an education funding bill will be passed in time to save these jobs.
My students were shocked when I shared the news with them. Their parents were furious because of how hard we've worked to build something here. And that's all just thrown into the fire, I guess.
Lake is urging community members to reach out to lawmakers as he and others wait to see whether House Bill 69 moves forward. The bill, which would boost per-student funding across the state, cleared the House last month, but some lawmakers, including Representative Will Stapp, raised concerns about whether the legislature can sustainably fund it long-term. And for the first time, the superintendent is speaking publicly about a backup plan for the 185 displaced teachers. The Anchorage Assembly approved conditional funding, school funding, depending on whether the state boosts per-student spending by July. The plan would let the district spend above its current budget without raising taxes. If the state approves a $1,000 increase per student by May 15th, many cuts could be reversed, a move district leaders say is essential to keep teachers in the classroom.
If we don't have a bill passed in the next few weeks, every day that passes is a day that could have been used to recruit and hire a talented teacher. That's an opportunity that could have been used to make the case for someone who just graduated from college to choose Anchorage over a district in Oregon that offers a defined benefit and comparable wages.
Bryant said all additional funds the district might receive would be directed towards direct classroom instruction and rolling back cuts. Just hours after the Anchorage Assembly approved conditional school funding, House Bill 69 cleared the Senate Education Committee.
Without objection, House Bill 69, Work Order 34-LS0309/S, as in Soldotna, as amended, is reported from the Senate Education Committee with individual recommendations and attached fiscal notes and the needed title change resolution.
The bill includes that $1,000 increase to base student funding that would reverse cuts in Anchorage and help districts like Fairbanks. It also covers issues like class size, cell phone use, testing, and charter schools. Senator Loki Tobin told us the bill has bipartisan support and a target passage date of May 21st. She couldn't say if the governor will sign it, but she says she sent a draft to the governor's staff for them to look over. We're still tracking unofficial results from Tuesday's Anchorage election, with incumbents and most propositions holding the lead. Prop 1, the school district bond, is narrowly ahead of the 15 propositions on the ballot. Only 3 are failing, including funding for new police cars and road projects in Chugiak, Birchwood, Eagle River, and Girdwood. Official results are expected in a few weeks. We will continue to provide updates as they come. Check out the latest on our website and mobile app. In Southeast Alaska, a race against time is underway to save a dog on the run. Jackie, a German Shepherd Husky mix, slipped her collar on the first day in Juneau and has been surviving in the woods near a highway for 2 months. She's dodged traps baited with cheeseburgers and chicken. But with bears now emerging from hibernation, the clock is ticking. Volunteers have stopped using food. Instead, they're working to earn her trust, one patient step at a time. An Anchorage icon, Star the reindeer, was euthanized this week. His caretakers, Albert Whitehead and Martha Anderson, are mourning the loss and cherishing their memories with the most famous reindeer of all.
He's special to us, but I think he's also special to the Anchorage.
star was 8 years old. He was the 7th reindeer with that same name since the 1960s and the only male star among them. And the Cars in Fairview is closing. The grocery store on Gamble is set to shut down around May 10th, citing financial reasons. The Cars spokesperson says employees will be able to transfer to other locations and pharmacy prescriptions will move to the Cars at New Seward and Benson. There can be more on our website. After the break, a view few will ever see, soaring above glaciers and right into the steaming heart of Mount Spur. We take you on board a high-altitude helicopter tour where the landscape is stunning and the potential for eruption is real.
Still holding on to that springtime warmth across South Central with blizzard conditions out west. I'll have more on that as well as that 7-day forecast for you. But first, sunrise 7:14 in Anchorage, 6:18 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to fly straight into the heart of a volcano, here's your chance to see it up close. Alpha Aviation is taking passengers on an aerial tour of Mount Spur, giving people a front row seat to its power, beauty, and potential danger. Here's a look inside the cockpit for a journey few ever get to experience.
Welcome to Alpha Aviation. Ready to take a quick look at Spur?
Ready for it. This is
Let's
going to be
do
awesome.
it. Yeah. Beautiful day for a flight. We'll be flying in an A-Star, an AS-350 aircraft. You can hop on in and the A-Star is ubiquitous in mountain flying. It's the best high-altitude helicopter that's ever been built. So the Spur tour, it's an hour-and-a-half long tour. It's flown in that A-Star. On the way out, if you're fortunate, you might be able to see some wildlife and things in the flats. Mount Spur is a little bit over 11,000 feet tall. I think from a distance, you can tell that it's a large mountain, but as you approach it and you start to really look up at it more and more, the true scale of it becomes pretty apparent.
It's definitely steaming.
It is a snow-capped mountain, but looking inside, seeing the steam coming out, there's a green lake in the middle of it. Unexpected. You know, I hadn't flown that close to or seen a volcano from that perspective before, and it was pretty mind-blowing. Potentially never being the same again if there were to be an eruption, as is forecast. This is potentially a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Oh my gosh.
There's glaciers spilling off of Mount Spur and all the mountains around there, and a number of major glaciers that you fly over and see. Getting to share the experience with people, I think, is pretty special. You know, flying in Alaska, I do get to go into the mountains a lot and see it from a pretty unique perspective. Getting to share that and show that to other people and see how they react is pretty special.
Oh my gosh. And they're so close.
I still remember my first time flying in a helicopter. It's what made me want to become a pilot. And I think that there's just a kind of a joy and an excitement and exhilaration that comes with being in the aircraft, and a pretty amazing freedom with where you can go and what you get to see.
Oh, wow.
Feels pretty cool. Yeah, it's hard not to walk away with a smile at the end of the day.
What incredible views from above, Aaron.
Yeah, really just amazing to see the amount of glaciers that we do have out in the mountains. As far as that Spur, we continue to monitor that situation. But as far as what we're dealing with today across the state, ongoing light snow showers and areas of wintry mix continue through the interior. That is set to taper off throughout the day. You can see a rain snow mix for Fairbanks at 34 degrees. We got 36 in Cold Bay, 19 in Bethel, 9 below in Kotzebue. Meanwhile, for the Gulf Coast region, those temperatures waking up in the 20s and the 30s from southeast through south central. What we're watching across the state, there's that lingering activity through the interior, not as widespread as what we've been dealing with. Notice this cloud shield we've got out towards the Aleutians. This is a frontal system as well as a digging trough that has really begun to stall. That is phasing with a Pacific low that is building to the north. As these two systems come together, this is going to help enhance precipitation. A lot of precipitation available with this area of low pressure. So we're going to be talking about some very heavy snowfall through the Aleutians, blizzard conditions out towards the Kuskokwim Delta coast, out as well as Nunivak Island, while we're expected to see some gusty winds and some snow accumulation out towards the Yukon Delta. This same system is what's also going to open up the Gulf of Alaska, leading to the return to some rain for both south central and southeast. So that's what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere when we're talking about what we are expected to see with this storm system. At the surface, you can see, already dealing with some snow showers this morning. That winter storm warning remains in effect. Notice for areas really through the eastern Aleutians out towards Unalaska. This is where we're going to see that heaviest band of snow showers staying with us. And the heaviest snowfall will arrive through Thursday afternoon on into Friday. So be prepared for that heaviest snowfall to arrive today into tomorrow morning. And for areas really east of about Cold Bay, this is where we're going to see that freezing line set up. So areas east of Cold Bay seeing more in the way of a rain or a rain-snow mix, while areas west of that line, this is where we could see up to 18 inches of that snow accumulation. So be prepared for that here over the next couple of days. That snow combined with winds up to 60 miles per hour will lead to some blizzard conditions. Now out towards the Kuskokwim Delta coastline, where we are going to see some blizzard conditions, the concern with that snow will be about 4 to 8 inches in that snow accumulation. So we are going to see that increasing snow chances throughout the day. Notice those winds not as strong today. They will increase, though, overnight into tomorrow. Still expected to see some cooler conditions for the Seward Peninsula, and then out towards the Aleutians, those temperatures warming into the 30s and the 40s. But be prepared again for the eastern Aleutians, where we're going to see the potential for up to 2 feet of snow accumulation. This is from today on through the first part of the weekend, where we are going to see some of that greatest chance for that snow accumulation. Meanwhile, across South Central today, still expected some sunshine. We are in that transition pattern as that ridge backs off and that opens the Gulf of Alaska for rain to return, which we are going to be watching later this week. 47 today for the high in Fairbanks, 10 in Kotzebue, 4 in Utqiagvik, 31 in Bethel. Out towards the southeast, we'll see those temperatures warming into the low to mid 50s. So still holding on to that springtime warmth. That 7-day forecast showing there's those shower chances returning to South Central starting tomorrow and lasting into Monday. Of course, Kodiak will tap into that rainfall potential later today. And of course, the better chance for any of that rain will be for Gulf Coast region, inland areas, that chance for showers, really just some scattered periodic activity into Monday.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. Moving to the interior, in Fairbanks, borough emergency officials held a community workshop to gather input on a new wildfire protection plan. The meeting covered local fire history, mitigation strategies, and tools to help residents assess their risk. Feedback focused on issues like limited road access and long-term maintenance, with residents calling for more community-driven solutions.
I would really like to see a community-wide perspective in the plan, something that's actionable that we can think about. So, as a community, we remove things like invasive species. It would be great to think about how we can also, as a community, remove certain types of fuels to protect our community as a whole.
The Emergency Operations Director says parts of the plan, including tools for residents, will be posted on the borough's website by week's end.
You've been listening to the Alaska's News Source podcast. Subscribe to have the latest episodes delivered to your library automatically.